one of my favorite topics is the origins of PitchSLAP, how it all started.
Yeah, we're getting asked that more and more, aren't we? And I take no responsibility for it. I blame you.
Oh, really? I think if memory serves me right, last year we had seen a few similar, a few people that tried to do something similar, except that they never really got traction. And I think it's because it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And you need to be dedicated to that. It has to be part of your business. It can't just be a side gig. And two, it was free.
Yeah.
And let me just explain the whole free thing. When it's free, they don't take it seriously.
No, I've always maintained that when you give something away, people devalue it immediately, and charging even a token amount is your first line of qualification, right? It's the people who expect something for free versus someone who's prepared to invest in themselves.
Yeah.
And to me, that's really where we want to start from, because you can give the most value, you can give the most assistance, and you can help them become the best version of themselves in terms of the pitch they produce and they deliver. But if they haven't got the right mentality and mindset to begin with, then it's for nothing, really, in my opinion. So.
Right, the mindset, absolutely, and also who's giving the feedback. In the one, who's giving the feedback. So when it's crowdsourced feedback, it's very similar to when you're doing product development and you're thinking of your next list of features. So who do you listen to? A raving fan, a customer that uses your product consistently and is dying to have a new feature? Will you listen to that person more than you'll listen to someone who has barely touched your product and just saying, "Yay, I would love to get this feature"? No, it's sort of
It's the Uncle Tony phenomenon. Everybody has an Uncle Tony.
Uncle Tony.
And Uncle Tony is the best meaning guy, and he's always looking out for you, and he's always going to tell you what encourages you. He wants to see you achieve and thrive, and yeah, that's great, but it's not qualified experience that gives that feedback. And I think that's what you're saying. When you work with a client that's really in your product and is understanding it and in giving quality feedback, then you can work with that. But this is where you've got to be careful about asking your family and friends if you're on the right path. I mean, that's a story for another time, but it really is dangerous to listen to people who have your best interests at heart, because they will not be objective enough to tell you actually that's not what you need to be doing. And seek counsel from those who've done it before, who are experts in their field.
Yeah, another perspective, and won't sugarcoat as much. I think that's and not to scare anybody off. We're not the Shark Tank. We're not that aggressive, but we are on point and very straightforward. That's for sure, and I like that.
Absolutely, but you don't want to come on PitchSLAP in order to be told what you're doing well, because that's blowing smoke. You come on the show to find out where you can make immediate actionable improvement that will actually move by the increments of degrees your pitch forward. And sometimes I think, oh my God, I must be nicer. I must compliment more. I think actually, no, that's not what I'm here for. I want to help people make the improvement.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we are both, correct and nice people. No?
Well, most of the time. You've been harsh. You scared a few people off. One person hung up.
Literally off the show. Hello, have we lost Diego?
Yeah, that was quite funny actually.
Yeah, and in terms of how, we get asked this question a lot. How did we come up with PitchSLAP? So we said, I think last year we had seen similar formats that just died off, no traction. And a few months later, we were, I think, either having a conversation on the phone or having a coffee, and we said, why don't we do something?
Yeah,
like
why
that?
don't we do something together? And it was kind of, okay, that sounds great. And the question was what? And I think it was that the what was, what's going to help? What's going to drive value? It sounds as cliche and corny as it is, but it's got to be about value. You've got to deliver value to your customers. You've got to deliver value in what you do. You drive it from that perspective, interesting things start to happen. And I think it was well, your expertise in marketing and my dabbling in sales, it's kind of, we work with these entrepreneurs, let's do something around that pitch area, because we kept commenting. What it was, we kept commenting about the same common mistakes we were seeing in our clients, and those flaws in their seemingly otherwise good pitch, but they were letting themselves dramatically with things that you think, well, if you just tweak that, immediately you're clearer in your message, or immediately you're more impactful in your call to action, or immediately you're clearer in the explanation of what you're trying to accomplish. And I think that was really...
So you're trying to make your job easier.
I'm always after an easy life. Really am.
And I remember one of the first questions you asked me is, why? No? When we started talking about the format, it sounded fun, it sounded interesting, and you said, why? You always have this thing where you ask the right questions and you make me think.
Wow.
Because I was like, I just got really excited about this. You know how passionate I am about startups and helping, etc. And that why, and that's where we got to understand that it actually made sense for our personal brands.
Yeah.
You know, as consultants in sales and marketing. And yeah, because nowadays, like you said last time, nowadays it's very hard to differentiate yourself. There's so many consultants out there. How do you differentiate yourself?
Well, I frame it, it's me too. It's a me too business. I do that. Yeah, me too. And it's like, well, what's the differentiator? Because we have to practice what we preach. Because when we talk with clients, it's like, what makes you different? I want to get to that thing, and I want to expand on that.
Absolutely.
And it's apply that same scrutinizing approach to yourself and what you do. So I've got a nervous laugh and funny hair. Well, I wouldn't say that about you or anyone else. No, it's more about just delivering value, and I think pitching, well, I love it. I've been doing it for 20 plus years in sales. I've been pitching different business services and solutions for a long time. So to me, getting up and speaking value it's kind of normal. And what I like about what we do together with PitchSLAP is we don't know what's coming through the door.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it can be terrifying in the moment, though. It has been, no, how are we going to handle this? But it's that uncertainty principle. And
but that's, sorry, Taran, but that's where, we throw each other the
lifeline? The lifeline or the ball? Hot
the
potato,
ball. I think it's the hot potato.
Yeah. Hey, do you want to fill this one this time?
Yeah, please, go ahead.
I'm always going first. No, it's great.